Coming up on CitrusTV News live at 6, the first government shutdown in 18 years enters its second day.
SUNY ESF continues to search for a new president.
A Florida airport is shut down after a bomb scare.
And Apple's latest software is making some users feel a little seasick. CitrusTV News starts right now.
Efforts continue to break the government stalemate in our nation's capital. It's Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013, and welcome to CitrusTV News. I'm Irfan Uraizee.
And I'm Amanda Harry. SU students will continue to study abroad despite ongoing conflicts in Cairo.
But the effects of the government shutdown continue to ripple across the U.S. That's our top story. Midnight came and went yesterday, and so did our federal government. Now it's day 2 of the first government shutdown in nearly 18 years, and there's no end in sight. Yet, as of now, non-essential workers to the federal government are on unpaid leave, while essential workers continue to report to their jobs, but without pay. Other Americans who don't work for the government saw the shutdown up close and personal yesterday when they turned away from Yellowstone National Park on the park's 123rd anniversary. Last night, White House Press Secretary Jay Carney reiterated the president's position.
He has been all year and continues to be eager and willing to sit down with lawmakers of both parties to work out a longer, broader budget compromise.
What do you expect during the shutdown? As we said earlier, national parks are closed and many government workers have been furloughed. But what else can you expect? Well, for one thing, the mail hasn't failed, even though the government has. Expect daily post office operations to run normally. You can count on many critical banking functions like tax collection to remain intact. And Obamacare is in full effect. Stay tuned to hear about how the Affordable Health Care Act affects you. So what do Hey Max, why don't you?
Okay, so SU students are still a little confused about what is going on with the shutdown. But 2 days are gone in the shutdown, and the government leaders are still having trouble agreeing on anything. So here's what 2 of them had to say earlier.
Why aren't the members of the House and the Senate in the White House right now to try to solve this problem?
If Republicans really want to reopen the government, they should just go ahead and reopen the government. They've had that power all along. Once they do that, we'll be happy to appoint conferees, work out our long-term budget priorities with the House. Let's go to conference.
Many students are confused still about the details of the shutdown.
Because Congress couldn't figure out Obamacare. I don't know exactly, but something related to that.
Well, it's really hard to know what's going on because you're just so focused on like your classes, your papers, and stuff like that. Maybe like when you go on Google or MSN, you'll like find out something's happening. But like to be quite honest with you, I didn't know the government was shutting down until like I don't know Sunday or Saturday.
The two sides can't figure out a way to compromise on what they want, so they're setting a bad example.
And Max, it's an interesting question. You know, it begs the question, why did the shutdown happen now and not in 2014?
Well, something a lot of people don't know is that the government's fiscal year actually runs from October 1st until September 30th. So that's why it was chaos up until yesterday.
So Max, how will the shutdown affect Syracuse students?
Well, if you're trying to go abroad next year and you don't have a visa, that is going to take a little while until the shutdown happens. People can't get visas, and you know, if anyone's trying to take out loans for anything, they can't do it right now. So a lot of students are going to see some effects if this doesn't stop very soon.
Thanks, Max. We just have to wait and see how this plays out now.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. The former SU student arrested on several felony and misdemeanor drug charges now has a court date. 23-year-old Patrick Johnson is due in federal court on April 3rd, 2014. He was living in the Alpha Chi Rho fraternity house when police found over 4 ounces of cocaine, 15 grams of marijuana, and over $5,000 in his room. Jackson released on $25,000 bail yesterday. He pleads not guilty.
Syracuse University is helping to promote National Walk Month with its newest competition, Walktober. SU is partnering with the Healthy Mondays campaign in an effort to motivate people who are less physically active and make exercise fun for those who might be new to it. So what does this mean for SU students?
Committed to health and wellness, that there are individuals who are not only continuing to walk, but there's individuals who may be starting a new exercise program, and this is the incentive to get them out, and that's what it's all about.
Participants will track how much they walk or run daily through October 28th, when the winner will be announced at SU's Halloween Fun Run and Walk. And while Syracuse University just found its new chancellor, SUNY ESF is still seeking its new president. The last step of the search is underway as the final 5 candidates begin visiting campus this week. The search committee hopes to honor the legacy of the current president, Cornelius Murphy. The decision for the next president is expected to come in December.
Students will continue to study abroad in the Middle East this coming spring, despite ongoing conflicts in neighboring countries. Cairo is the only program that has been closed, but students will still be able to study in Jordan, Lebanon, Morocco, Tunisia, and Turkey. Students are not allowed to travel to areas with higher security risks, and if tensions rise in these regions, students could be sent home early. Coming up after the break, a Florida airport shuts down after a mysterious package is found.
And Iran's relations with Israel are still as tense as ever. Stay with us.
This fall is proving to be a great time of the year in the city of Syracuse because temperatures seem to be staying in the mid-70s all week. So when will fall really begin? Stay tuned for your full forecast coming up on Citrus TV News live at 6.
I'm Amanda Harry.
I'm Rachel Walsky.
I'm Chris Womack.
And I'm Anna Giles.
And this is Citrus TV.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
I'm Leanne DeRosa.
I'm John Tomino.
I'm Nick Cardona.
And I'm Chris Wilner. And this is Citrus TV.
It may be October, but it feels a little bit more like summer with temperatures hovering in the 70s all week. Will this weather continue throughout the rest of the week and the weekend? We go to Maddie Olaskevich for your full weather forecast.
Thanks, Amanda. Well, currently today we are seeing nothing but sunny and clear skies. Currently the temperature is 70 degrees outside with winds coming in at 12 miles per hour, making it feel a little bit chillier. Humidity is at 57%. With the clear skies, we are seeing no rain today. And looking into tonight, the temperature will drop to about 60 degrees, a low of 48 this evening with humidity getting up to 78%, but those clear skies should also keep for no rain for this evening as well. And taking a look over at the west coast of the United States, Wyoming is expecting a snow advisory for this weekend. Parts also in southern Montana, Idaho, and even Colorado are also expecting that snow to come in this weekend. Currently in Cheyenne, Wyoming, it's 65 degrees, but by Friday it will drop down to 32, and they'll be expecting 8 to 12 inches of snow this weekend. Luckily, though, we are in the East Coast, and so taking a look at our current temperatures, Syracuse is at an average of 75 degrees. Other areas along the coast, such as New York City and Philadelphia, are at an 83 degrees, so we shouldn't be expecting that snow just yet. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, currently it's sunny, clear skies at 75. Tomorrow we should be expecting some partly cloudy skies, still with a high of 74. Friday we have isolated thunderstorms, but still warm temperatures at 76 degrees. Saturday getting up to 79 with those partly cloudy skies, and more rain coming on Sunday. So kind of a muggy and warm weekend altogether.
So Maddie, everyone's really excited for Orange Central this weekend. What should we expect the weather to look like?
Well, it is going to be a little bit rainy with those isolated storms. I know on Saturday, 50% chance of rain, so it could go either way on Saturday. But I would really still, since it's going to be around the 70s, I would still break out those shorts and really expect great weather for this weekend.
Hopefully it won't rain too much for Orange Central weekend. Thanks, Maddie.
Of course.
And new motions are being made that could influence your privacy in a public place. Citrus TV's correspondent Jules Piexoto went downtown to tell us what the police department is trying to do.
The freedoms of speech, press, petition, and assembly. These First Amendment rights may potentially be threatened by the Syracuse Police Department.
This is about putting a technological fix on a problem that really needs a human solution.
She's referring to the security cameras that the Syracuse Police Department is hoping to install in Clinton Square.
They say that they're doing it to try to deter crime, but even on their own website they acknowledge that cameras do not have a deterrent effect.
The police department is in the process of applying for $50,000 worth of grant money for the security surveillance. Gawanter says placing cameras here is in direct violation of people's basic rights.
Here's the problem with Clinton Square. It's not a high crime area, and it is an area where people assemble for the purposes of engaging in dissent and celebration, not a place where people go to engage in crime.
But not everyone agrees with Gawanter.
I think it's a good idea. The reasons? There's stuff that goes on down here that nobody really sees unless they're here a lot. You've got drugs, you've got prostitution, you've got dealers that come down here. You've got drug users that come down here.
Stephen DeHaven has lived in Syracuse his whole life and visits Clinton Square a few times every week. While he is clearly in support of the cameras, other Syracuse locals are outraged.
I'm not going to stand there and just let them take my rights because I'm a free man.
Gawanter thinks the money should be spent on a different solution.
What we need to have a police presence on the streets, in the neighborhoods, getting to know the neighborhoods, the people that live there. That will actually have a deterrent effect. It's a human solution rather than a technological one.
The police department won't find out for another 6 months whether or not the grant is approved. For Citrus TV News, I'm Jules Piexoto.
Citrus TV News was unable to receive comment from a Syracuse police representative regarding the security cameras.
The bomb threat that shut down Jacksonville International Airport last night, nothing but a hoax. Police arrested 39-year-old Joko Kozovic after his bomb threat shut down the airport for nearly 5 hours yesterday. Passengers were ordered to leave the terminals while authorities investigated 2 suspicious packages, one of which was believed to be destructive. Kozovic was booked on charges that included false reports about planting a bomb. He was scheduled to appear in bond court this afternoon. The new Iranian president may be getting along better with the U.S., but relations with Israel are still as tense as ever. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the United Nations that Iran is trying to deceive the international community. Netanyahu compared Iranian President Hassan Rouhani to a wolf in sheep's clothing and said he is still pursuing a nuclear weapon. Netanyahu also strongly urged against lowering nuclear sanctions placed on Iran.
A new report says Kenya's National Intelligence Service warned cabinet members of a possible attack on the Westgate Mall in Nairobi a year before it happened. The service also specified that the Al-Shabaab was the likely group to carry out the attack. This information was included in an extensive list of possible terrorist targets. It has also been confirmed that Al-Shabaab tortured some of the hostages. 67 people are dead and 39 are still missing. And international inspectors have reached Damascus and are beginning to plan the destruction of Syria's chemical weapons stockpile. The UN has sent 14 workers along with 19 inspectors from a Netherlands-based chemical weapons watchdog. Bashar al-Assad has an estimated 1,000-ton arsenal of weapons. The UN Security Council has called for all weapons to be destroyed by mid-2014. And coming up next, find out why Apple users may want to reach for the nearest tablet of Dramamine.
And some sad news for anyone expecting to participate in a clinical trial. We'll be right back.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Spirit, we're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. All those boys are much too much. Those boys.
I wanna go crazy. You can go crazy too. I wanna go crazy. Wanna go crazy with you. Everybody say whoa.
I'm Russell Oliver.
I'm Maddie Olaskevich.
I'm Irfan Uraizee.
And I'm Alex Resnick.
And this is Citrus TV News. Yesterday marked the official beginning of Obamacare enrollment for the millions of Americans without health insurance. They will have until December 14th to register in order to receive coverage starting New Year's Day 2014. Currently, 80% of Americans receive health insurance through their employers, so Obamacare doesn't affect most Americans. However, the Americans that do need to sign up can do so by going online to healthcare.gov. They can choose from 4 types of premiums: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, with platinum covering 90% of healthcare costs. Federal officials say Americans using the site should be able to purchase healthcare in 7 minutes. But if uninsured Americans do not buy coverage, they will have to pay a $95 tax penalty. And about 200 patients scheduled to begin their clinical trials this week are waiting for the government shutdown to end before they can be treated. About 30 of these patients are children, 10 of which are cancer patients. Along with patients being put on hold, 6 new studies would have started today that will also have to wait. Those already in the studies are still being treated and will continue with their trials.
Facebook has updated its new graphic search in an effort to directly compete with Twitter. Users will now be able to search for conversation topics within status updates, comments, and posts. You can also search for posts or comments from a specific time period or location. This will make it easier to engage in real-time conversation on Facebook. The new graphic search will be tested on Monday and will be available to more users shortly after. The brand new sleek and modern look of iOS 7 may be appealing to some, but it's making others seasick. That's right, a new thread on Apple's support website revealed a widespread problem: motion sickness. Experts think the sharp images and movement of the icons create a 3D effect. They say seeing 3D on a flat surface can cause nausea and queasiness in some people.
And Taj Boyd is on his way to Syracuse, and the MLB playoffs are just beginning to heat up. We'll be right back.
Amanda Harry.
I'm Rachel Walsky.
I'm Chris Woolmer.
And I'm Anna Giles.
And this is Citrus TV.
We can all be more energy efficient. It's easy. Use energy-saving light bulbs. Energy Smart Power Strips. And turn off electronics and appliances when not in use. Learn what you can do today at energy.gov/tink.
I'm John Tomino. I'm Nick Cardona. And I'm Chris Woolmer. And this is Citrus TV.
The men's soccer team hosted the visiting Binghamton Bearcats last night at the SU Soccer Stadium, and it was a nail-biter. Syracuse was the only team to score in the first half when Stefanos Stamouliakatos buried a loose ball inside the box past the Binghamton goalkeeper. The next goal didn't come until late in the second half, when BU's Ben Nicholson tied the game in the 78th minute. Extra play ended with the game tied 1-1, but in double overtime, Syracuse freshman Alex Hallis scored the game-winning goal off a rebound. Syracuse plays again Friday night home against NC State. It will be a rather eventful day on Saturday as Syracuse hosts the number 3 Clemson Tigers at 3:30 p.m. in the Carrier Dome. Besides having the number 3 team in town, former Orange quarterback Don McPherson's number 9 will be retired at halftime. After a dismal showing in the first 2 home games, fan attendance is likely to increase for the big matchup. In addition to that, Heisman hopeful Taj Boyd will be starting at quarterback for the Tigers. With more on Boyd, here's Citrus TV's Chris Wilner.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Well, precision, electricity, speed, those are just a few words to describe Taj Boyd, the quarterback out of Clemson, coming to the Dome on Saturday to take on Syracuse. A lot of hype surrounding the game, but I did talk to Terrell Hunt, SU's quarterback, up at the media op earlier this week, and he was all ready to go, saying, quote, "I am ready to take on Terrell Hunt, and hopefully, he said, surpass him," but we'll have to see how that goes. But meanwhile, the Syracuse defense, that's basically going to be the main story of the game, is who can get to Taj Boyd, and I definitely think that Jay Bromley, who's one of the captains on the team, defensive tackle, he had a sack against Nick Montana over the last weekend against Tulane, so he said that he's hoping to get to him. It's going to take a unique and definitely a wholesome effort out of Coach Schaefer's defensive squad. Now, moving on to Taj Boyd, though, this guy's unstoppable. He already has almost 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and get this, 0 interceptions. Yeah, that's right. So this guy's pretty good. He's also on the Heisman watch list, so another thing to look at. But no one's really worried about this, and I know the Syracuse fans are ready to go in the Dome come Saturday. That kickoff time is 3:30. Now, Taj Boyd comes from a troubled background, though, and he says sports, including football, really helped shape him and give him the kind of competitive edge and also the heart to continue to fight, and that's what got him to be where he is today. So one of the top quarterbacks in the ACC coming to the Carrier Dome this weekend, Saturday, 3:30 at the Dome. We'll send it back to you, Pete.
Thanks, Chris. If you don't have your tickets yet, Syracuse will be releasing a limited number of seats in the lower bowl that will be available for purchase tomorrow at 9 a.m. The Pirates are back, and for the first time in a while, we're not talking about yet another Pirates of the Caribbean sequel. No, this is the Pittsburgh Pirates story. And yes, after 20 years, they are back in a big way. In last night's National League wildcard game, starters Francisco Liriano pitched 7 innings of 1-run ball, and Russell Martin homered twice to propel the Pirates past the Cincinnati Reds, 6-2. The win sends the Pirates into a best-of-5 series against division rival St. Louis. The series begins Thursday. Tonight, in the league's other wildcard game, the Cleveland Indians will host the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays earned their way into the wildcard game by winning another elimination game against the Texas Rangers just 2 nights ago. Alex Cobb will be on the mound for the Rays, and he will face off against rookie right-hander Danny Salazar. Game time is 8:07. And here's how the matchups shape up. In the American League, the winner of the Indians and Rays will draw the AL East winning Boston Red Sox. This series begins Friday at 3 p.m. In the other AL series, the Detroit Tigers will play the Oakland A's. Their series begins Friday at 9:30. In the National League, Pittsburgh will face St. Louis, with their series beginning Thursday night at 5 p.m. And following them, the Atlanta Braves will square off against the Los Angeles Dodgers at 8:30. You can see all these games on TBS. The NHL season got underway last night as the Chicago Blackhawks raised their Stanley Cup banner up into the United Center rafters. Tonight, the Sabres kick off their season against the Detroit Red Wings at 8 p.m.
So, Peter, what's the game to watch?
I would say the game tonight would be definitely to watch the Rays versus the Indians. You got Alex Cobb on the mound for the Rays. I kind of feel like the Rays will win. But no matter who wins, I really don't see anyone beating Boston in a best-of-5 series, so it may not even matter.
Well, thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Coming up, we'll take one more quick look at tomorrow's morning forecast.
We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Rosita, did you know there's a right way to sneeze? Let's show them, Elmo! Yeah, got it! When you feel like your nose sneezes to give it at you, this is how you act, this is what you do. Lift your arm up high, bend it toward your face. Sneeze right there in the bendy place. Achoo! Achoo! You can do it with ease. Achoo! Achoo! That's the right way to sneeze. Thank you.
To learn more about preventing flu, visit flu.gov.
So, Maddie, when we wake up tomorrow morning, what should we be expecting to pick out of our closets?
Well, tomorrow we have a high of 74, so it is going to be pretty nice outside. We're going to be seeing some partly sunny skies. So I would probably suggest maybe some capris and maybe like a quarter-length top. Bring out your sunglasses, though, too, definitely.
Not that I'm complaining, but when are we going to see these colder temperatures come around?
Well, we should be expecting temperatures to decrease to around 50 to the mid-50s later in October. So we should be expecting degrees to be in the upper 50s, mid-50s, around 2 more weeks or so.
And people are going out to the SU Clemson game. What kind of weather can they expect during that day?
Well, it is going to be a little bit rainy on Saturday, so I would bring your umbrella just in case for when you're standing outside the dome. But it should be nice skies with temperatures in the upper 70s, so it should be pretty good.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. And Celtics forward Brandon Bass is diving into a new pastime, swimming.
Bass says despite owning a lakefront home and jet skis, he's never learned how to tread water until now.
Not only is he sharpening his skills, but he's teamed up with the Boston area Boys and Girls Club to make sure kids know how to swim and be safe in the water. It's kind of surprising a guy that's so athletic just
doesn't know how to swim. Yeah, it's crazy. You would think that somebody who plays all these sports would have picked up swimming at some point.
Yeah, it's really surprising, but I mean, hey, he's an NBA player. He's just going to play basketball. That's what he does.
Exactly. That wraps things up here on Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Amanda Harry. Thank you for joining us this evening.
For more Citrus TV News content, check out our website at citrustv.net or find us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Irfan Uraizee, and thanks for watching.